Hey, everybody, welcome back. We've got Nina Ruberti with us again to share some more Bach flower essences for the month of August. As many of you know, and she's been doing this with us for several months now throughout this entire year. And the message for the entire year from the animals has been faith, which doesn't have to be religious or anything like that. It's just about faith in yourself, faith in all that is, that type of thing. And every month they've been breaking it down. And this month, August, has been no exception. We've had pause for this month, which, as I say this, Lucas is taking a very big pause underneath my desk, sleeping ever so soundly because we've had huge storms all day today. So he's wiped out. So yeah, so good way. It's a good day to pause. And so I'm so glad Nina's here to share some new Bach flower, well, maybe some repeats. We'll find out. She'll tell us all about them. Ways that can further support your work in learning how to pause, how to work with the pause, and how to notice when your animal's trying to get you to do exactly that. So what do you have for us this month, Nina?
Thank you, Julie. It's so good to see you again, and I'm very excited to be back this month. So pause. So you had given me a few different recommendations as to how, how we are to pause, to be still, basically, to kind of take a break. It's just to really breathe and take that moment to temporarily suspend what that action or the thought is that we're doing at that moment. So the first one I have is Heather. So this is a new one. We have not had this one.
Oh,
So Heather is basically like the needy child, maybe neglected, but they're one who it's ones who are constantly seeking companionship, who anyone is available. It's basically like the chatty Cathy. They just talk and talk and talk, and it's just incessant talking, and it doesn't matter who they're talking to, but they will give you details of everything that's gone on in their life or that morning, or it doesn't really matter who it is. It's just that they need to talk and need that have that attention. So it's kind of like for that person that has this incessant, you know, talking or speaking they need to do, it's very for someone that is in the moment with them listening, because they are not listeners, they're just chatty Cathys, that it is basically, absorbing or sucking the life or the energy out of you. So you could call them maybe psychic vampires because they're draining the energy. It's very exhausting for you. So they're usually not the best listeners because they just need to chat. They just need to talk and talk about them and all of that. So basically, and also, let's say if they're alone, then they may be on the phone for a couple of hours, right? So it's just the need to constantly chat, talk, speak, whatever that is. And it doesn't matter who it's really with. So Heather, so this is when it's a time to be chill, to be quiet, to really pause, to have that quiet composure so that you are able to become, like a good listener. You're able to be empathetic to what someone else is going through so that you have the ability to be attentive to the person that you're speaking with. And then you're able to take a step back, allowing space to listen, and then you're able to connect with that person more deeply. So that is Heather.
cool. Okay, so if I'm a person who has a hard time just being quiet because I have to have either expression of my own or something, then this would help me. But this would be too when my animal's showing me to for example, if Lucas is like, get off the cell phone or whatever, which mean, yeah, okay, I got you. All
Yes,
right.
yes. Bailey does that too. It's constantly like smack. It's like, get
Yeah,
off.
yeah,
And there are others, like I know for Bailey, I think with that one, he wants me to be more centered. So that may
yeah,
be Centuri, or there's a
yeah,
few other things, but yes, it could be. It's like,
yes,
yeah, just quiet the mind, just take a pause, right?
yeah,
You don't need to be all chatty and yeah.
yeah. Got it. Again, I'm not a chatty person, but I know
Yeah.
chatty people. But yes. Okay.
Yes. So the next one is Impatiens, which we've had this one
Mhm.
before. So this one is for someone that is very quick in thought and action. They like to get things done very quickly. They don't really understand why, or really about why people have hesitation or delay. If maybe they're ill, they're like anxious to get a speedy recovery. So they find it very difficult to interact with people that are very slow. they, because they want to really kind of hurry it up and let's go. They want to speed it up. They become irritable, they become intolerant. It's because everyone just moves too slow. Life is too slow for them and they just move too fast. Which I know that I've spoken about how when I'm driving, or maybe like if people are possibly dealing with their kids, or even an elderly that is, reaching like what you've been going through. We need to take a pause just to breathe. And, so the impatience, it restores your patience with gentleness, so you're able to become more tolerant, to become more diplomatic. You're able to kind of go with the flow and allow things to happen in a natural way, so that way, it softens the urge to be rushing, and you can allow things to unfold as the way that they should, or the
Yeah.
way that they will.
Yeah. And to me, that last line, that's like the key when someone is impatient, no judging, but when someone is impatient, right? That I find, because okay, I live with someone who's very impatient. And I find that if there was, yes, I know. So I'm like, I'm about to spike his water.
Yes.
Because Heather would also be good. But if I am, but I find that if you could just take a breath, just pause for a minute, which Lucas, it's interesting, will get in between the two of us or do something to get his attention, which only aggravates him, my husband, further. However, I know exactly what Lucas is doing, but if he were to take that pause and could let me finish the sentence, things could go much more smoothly.
Maybe you do need to spike his water.
I know.
He wouldn't know the difference. He'll just all of a sudden calm him down.
Huh.
And he may be like, wow, okay, I'm kind of a little more at peace.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know?
I'll
Yeah.
be adding that to my shopping list
Yes.
here.
Yeah. Yes. Both of them, Heather and Impatiens.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, and it is interesting with animals because, like you're saying with Lucas, you know that he's getting in the way to kind of distract him, to get him out of his mind and to calm him down, to pause for a second, but he's still on that train, right? That's
Yeah.
still the thought, and is like, let's just breathe, let's pause, right?
Yeah. Follow your dog. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. They're always giving us signs.
Totally.
And then the other one, so there's two of these, white chestnut, which I've also spoken previously before. White chestnut is basically about, it's for when we can't turn off our minds and we need to do a pause and a timeout for our minds, which is white chestnut. So I'm actually bringing in red chestnut for today, as a different one, because this is when you obsessively worry about the well-being of others. So this is the more of like the night watcher. So you're constantly overprotective, or you're over concerned with the well-being of like your family, your friends, maybe your coworkers, your children, your animals, so you're constantly concerned for their well-being. Which at the end of the day, you're kind of really projecting your fears upon others.
Yeah.
It could be like a dad that's not going to go to bed until his daughter's home at night, or a mother may, want to make sure that their kids arrive to their travel destination safely, or even a grandmother worrying or get choked up like their children crossing, their grandchildren crossing the street. So it's the worrying of the well-being of others.
Gotcha.
So this is red chestnut. So when this will, you take the remedy, and this will restore your trust and confidence in the well-being of others. So
Okay.
you're able to bring in the balance for your concern for them. So
Okay.
this can basically, allow you to empathize for the sorrow of others, so that you don't have attachment of what's going on in others' life, of other people's.
Oh,
Yeah. So it just
cool.
calms the mind from like worrying excessively about others. So you are able to rest and be at peace as you're taking that pause with the red chestnut.
Nice. Nice. Okay. So I just was realizing, I don't know if we've ever talked about how would people typically take these if these
Oh,
resonate with somebody. What would be the normal, because like even time period, right? Over a length, I know it's over a while. So yeah, share with
yeah.
us.
And so there's many different ways to take them. You can put, a few drops in, let's say if you drink out of a bottle of water, you can put a few drops in your water. And this is the same thing for animals as well, if you want to put it in their water bowl. So you can put a few drops in their water bowl. A lot of times you can make a tincture that basically uses, like I know Dr. Bach uses like two quarter, 2/3 pure natural spring water. And then he uses a third of like I think it's a whiskey. Is it whiskey? It's an alcohol to preserve the
Brandy.
integrity.
Can't-
It's brandy. Thank you. Yes. God, I'm like, it's not whiskey. It's yes, brandy. But I just use water and the remedy. You could also just do a little slight dosing of putting 1 drop underneath the tongue, just making sure that you don't touch the dropper, because then that way you want to keep it clear of bacteria. And you would do this like maybe 3 to 4 times a day. You don't want to really have any food 20 minutes before or after, just because that will, you want it to keep the integrity to go down the cellular level. And then basically you just take it as long as you feel that you need it, because it will eventually integrate into your body. And then all of a sudden you will just kind of slowly stop taking it, and you don't really realize why, but it's because that your body has now integrated it. And as of right now, you may not need it, but then you may go back to needing it, so it just, everything changes, and it's the slight little nuances of what it is. And you could also run a bath. If you take baths, you can maybe put 8 drops of it in your bath. And, you could put it on, I know they have like Rescue Remedy lotion. So you could put a few drops in the lotion and then rub it on you. Like I know we were talking about on the podcast with you and Wendy and Meredith, that she was saying about massaging, and you can massage it, on. So there are many different ways that you are able to administer or take these remedies.
Okay, cool. And just as you can take them for as long as you want.
Yes.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can take them as long as you want, as long as you feel you need. I mean, they're all natural. They're from the essence of the flower. So there's nothing, whatever, let's say if you're on medication or you're sick or whatever the case may be, these are not going to influence or affect that, because they're basically natural and it goes down to the cellular level. So it's just really a drop underneath your tongue, which is what I do a lot, because there's just a few that I'm like, oh, I need that, like for driving, or, at night I'll need that. And I'll just put 1 drop underneath my tongue. And it just, like, for me, I know that I can just feel the shift, and I can just all of a sudden just kind of feel just calming down, and the inner balance that's going on within my body.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, cool. Well,
Yeah.
thank you. I love all 3 of these.
Mm-hmm.
I could use them all on Brad.
There you go.
So
Yes, and give us an update as to how it works.
I will. That's what I'll do. We'll do that next month.
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks again, Nina, for being with
Thank
all of us
you.
today and continuing to share with us how these amazing Bach flower essences can help us as we work with the animals on all of these different messages and on their personal soul level lessons with us. So thank you.
Thank you.